What's going on, y'all? Okay, so we are back, all right, for another episode review of American Horror Stories. And let me just put this out here. I can't stand the fact that I keep on having to say this. Y'all gonna drive me up the wall. Again, I am appreciative that you be waiting on to hear my opinions, but please do not, especially if I've already the only time you need to question whether or not I'm going to review something, I'm going to put something up, when something is coming, is if I haven't started reviewing it, okay? If I have already started reviewing it, of course I am going to do it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be on my other posts and Instagram comments on shit that ain't even got to do with it. This is like the third or fourth time I had to say this in a video, okay? And I'm getting really tired, and I'm trying not to get annoyed because I know how my mouth can be, and I don't want to disrespect anybody. But please stop doing it, especially if I did the first episode. Why wouldn't I do the whole season? I don't ever just start reviewing just in the middle of a season. But anyway, I'm sorry. We got that out the way. Please don't let that happen again. Thank you very, very much. Love the fact that you want to see my opinion, but life first, okay? This is American Horror Stories, season 2, episode 2, Aura. Is it Aura or Aurora? No, it's Aura, okay? Because the bitch Aurora got an O in it. Girl, yeah, get your shit together. But anyway, so let's get into it. Ma'am, I will say this episode was kind of slow for me, just a little bit, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. It was actually pretty good. Um, it was pretty good. It was Gabby Sidibe. Mind you, I haven't seen Gabby in a minute. And I used to love when Gabby was all up and through of American Horror Stories. And that's one thing that I do love about Ryan Murphy, because Ryan Murphy is one of those few directors that will constantly reuse his actors over and over again in just about almost all of his projects that he does. And so he makes sure that his people still have work. So I love that about him. Even if it's just a little extra shit, he still makes sure they have work. But Gabby, she on here. And have y'all ever seen a new girl? So she with this guy. His name is Bryce. Her name is Jaslyn. Okay, Bryce is her husband. And if you ever saw the new girl, her husband is the guy that plays Smith on the new girl. Bitch, I suggest, if you have never seen that show, go look it up. Either it's on Hulu, probably Netflix, or whatever. It's one of these streaming services that it's on. It was really good. I love that show. But anyway, so we see these commercials or whatever, and we realized that it was an advertisement for this. I would say it's like the Ring, okay? The Ring camera, but it's called Aura on here, And so you see the little advertisement of a mother and a daughter in the home, but then somebody breaks in and attacks them. But then they's like, if you have this aura, you know what I'm saying, they would have detected anybody coming, you know what I'm saying? So there's that. And then you see another one with this lady who, just checking to see who was at the door because she had the aura, and it was like motion detected, and it was somebody delivering flowers. Okay, fine. So then it pans from the commercial to, you hear the sounds of somebody trying to talk about the aura and what it's about. And then you see that it's Jaslyn, who was standing there looking at a box in a store. And she was like trying to decide whether or not she wanted to get it, right? Because the price is $199. Now, how much is it for a Ring camera? Okay, let me see. And I'll be seeing, let me tell you something, go on TikTok, baby. Go on TikTok and look up all the footage from people's in their Ring cameras. It ranges. You will be in so many emotional states. You will be either scared, you will be either pissed off, or you will be laughing your ass off, okay? Because, baby, it's just a lot. Let me look it up right quick. Ring camera costs. Okay, well, they're around the same time. 199. Okay, so it's around the same price. 199, 149. Well, no, 199. Okay, that's what it is. But anyway, so you got that going on, right? And so the guy at the what's it called? The store. He convinced her to go ahead and get it. When she comes home to her husband, mind you, they're in an HOA, meaning a gated community that has a HOA that you have to pay a fee to, or whatever. And obviously, they're in this community because this is where Jocelyn feels safe behind something gated. Behind a gated community, it gives you that false sense of protection, false sense of security. And I'm saying false because, as y'all been seeing, a lot of these people, especially on these reality shows like the Bravo Girls, Real Housewives, and Married to Medicine, and all these other shows or whatever, and other places too, outside of the shows, they've been getting robbed. They've been getting their houses robbed, and they're behind gated communities as well. Okay, so some of them, you know what I'm saying? So it still happens. And so, like that's why I say it's a false sense of security. So her husband, Bryce, was just like, why the fuck you buy this? And at one point I was like, is Bryce a good guy or is he not? Because he was giving me the feel that he was, he was being a dutiful husband, but I was just like, something gotta happen. Maybe he is, but then by the middle of the episode, I was like, okay, no, he's on the up and up. You know what I'm saying? And so he was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna let you keep it. It's fine, because they was on a budget. And when you on a budget, I get it. And I was like, but y'all out there in this nice ass house, in this nice ass community, what you mean you on a budget like that? Y'all literally penny pinching still. And I was like, I mean, I guess it makes sense, but he must got a really good paying job. She has a shop, an online shop that's about to go live. You know, and she was like, I'll get the money back from that. But when the shop finally does go live, girl, she ain't getting paid. She ain't getting paid nothing. It's barely anybody up in there doing stuff. Nigga, bye bye. I'm sorry. Let me block this person. I hate when you having a good moment and a nigga want to come on and just be fucking ignorant. Like, and yeah, I did block your ass. And you can feel all the type of ways about it. I'm not here for the negativity today. Like, it's just really irritating. Anyway, but yeah, what was I saying? So you have to understand, like, when you get these what you call it, when you get these online stores or whatever. I'm so sorry that this is distracting me. I apologize in advance. You get these online stores, and especially if don't nobody know you and you ain't doing no promo for it, you not gonna get no sales right off the bat. So I was like, girl, what you think this gonna do? And sure enough, like when she did get one sale. She got a notification that she finally got something sold. The husband was happy, she was happy, or whatever. And I feel like he was just letting her do that, as a like a hobby, and letting her do something or whatever. And I was like, okay. You look at the views from the items that she was posting, and it was like only 9 views, 7 views. Baby, let me tell you something. That just took me back to when YouTube first started, when social media first started, and you had to gain a following, okay? And you really had to put in work. You really had to put in work. These days, motherfuckers get on goddamn social media and they get they following like that. Okay, baby, be cute, be a little I guess a little palm color person or whatever, that just may be somewhat, I guess, attractive to people and universal or whatever. Girl, y'all will get followers out the ass, okay? Meanwhile, after that, she got a notification. Mind you, her husband had to go. First of all, before they did all of that, they was doing like trial runs of if somebody comes to the house and try to rob or whatever. And this is all because she has childhood trauma. She has childhood trauma. And what happened was, when she was younger, she was in a bed asleep. Somebody came into her room with a mask on, and she turned around, she saw him, and they did like this or whatever. She turned her ass right back around and put that blanket over her. Baby, let me tell you something. Somebody did some shit like that, I probably would have did the same thing. I don't know if I would have screamed because it would have been such a shock, okay? I would have been like, what the fuck is going on? And it's like, you would be like, oh my God, scream, run, do whatever. But it's like in that moment, you just don't know how you would truly react. So I was not mad at the little girl for doing what she did. I guess the family got fucked up and probably got killed because you heard some screaming and stuff. What are you doing here? You heard the daddy talking and all that shit. So, mama just laid there under the bed like, I ain't hear nothing, I ain't see nothing. But she did because it's been something that's been traumatizing her for the rest of her life. And that's the reason why she's behind this gated community. It's the reason why she got the camera, whatever. But every time they say something or do something, the camera is like focusing on them. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's taking note. You know what I'm saying? Of what's being said, what's going on. Baby, have you heard about the way they was talking about some of these AI intelligence or whatever, can possibly kind of turn on us eventually because, they start learning and they become bad AIs. I said, what in the robot is going on? Honestly, see, let me tell you something. Technology is great for when it's great, but then it also scares me the advancements of what it can do because I truly feel like we have yet to reach the full surface and full capability of technology. And if that shit get into the wrong hands, oh baby, I believe in that shit. I really do. So meanwhile, you got that going on, and the husband doing a little trial run, and while they was doing it, they was about to get a little fresh on the goddamn steps. I said, oh, all right, and then he had to go into the office, right? So while he was gone, she gets motion detected signal or whatever. At first it was like a little raccoon that was playing around outside, but then she get it again and it's this old creepy looking man at the door. Now baby, when I seen that shit on the camera, oh, it scared me for a second. It ain't scared me, it made me jump because I wasn't expecting it, because I was like, where the shit at, what's gonna happen? Girl, when that happened, I was just like, who is this man? He was like, Jocelyn, let me in, I need to talk to you. Come on, my sweet Jocelyn. Let me in. Jocelyn. I said, no, he not finna sing me a lullaby. I said, call the police, bitch. Call the police. Okay? So she was like, no, get away from the door. Who are you? I think that was the first time. But then he came back a second time, and at this point, she had to call the cops because it was getting real creepy, bitch. Who the fuck are you and where you coming from, all right? And so she didn't open up the door that time either. I said, good. You never open up the goddamn door, somebody telling you to let me in. Fuck all of that, okay? In this day and age, too, hell no. So when she finally called the cops, her husband pulled up. He like, what's going on? You got the neighbors outside. Now see, this is a community where the neighbors don't know to just look out the window. These motherfuckers standing outside on the line. I said, we ain't finna do that, okay? At least have some couth like everybody else and just look out the window, okay? Don't be so obvious. Y'all just standing out there like, I said, what if something else could have popped off, okay? Something could have popped off and y'all could have caught a strike, But, they up in there, and you can tell like this. I don't know if the cops was really here for what she was saying or taking her serious, but at one point it was a little sense of urgency and a sense of seriousness. Like, ma'am, what's going on? Can you tell us what happened? And they were taking her, account of what was going on. But then the neighbor came over there. And he had a security camera of, the whole neighborhood and, the front of their house or whatever, because he's across the street. And that he was going through it and ain't see nobody. The only person that we saw was her going out there to the garbage can because when the raccoon was out there, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, maybe she had a dream. Maybe this is from her childhood. Maybe this is something you don't know, right? So the cops just kind of was like, well, if you see anything else and you see this person come back, just give us a call, I guess. That's what you do. So her husband, that night was just trying to make sure she was okay. Bryce was trying to make sure she was okay, trying to make sure she's sure that she wasn't having like a hallucination or a nightmare or whatever. She probably was just, had an out of body experience or something like that or whatever. I don't know. But the next day, they were sitting down there on the couch, and she get the motion detector signal again, and then he pops up on the camera again, but this time Bryce sees him. So now he calls the neighbor just to see if dude's still out there, but he wasn't, right? So it was really, really weird at this point. So Jaslyn started thinking back, and she was like, you know what, this reminds me of the fact that when I was in high school or grammar school or whatever, I think it probably was high school, you know, it was this janitor. He was kind of creepy or whatever. We used to make fun of him. I did say hello to his ass, and ever since I said hello to him, he just won't stop looking at me, calling me his sweet girl and all that stuff, and sending me candy. I said, call 911. Okay, where is Child Protective Services? Get it up in the school, okay? Because what you're not gonna do is be infatuated with a child, okay? That is sick, and you're an old ass, sickly looking man too. And she said that one day he just all of a sudden stopped appearing. They said that he probably was in the psych ward or whatever. And so, dude actually looked like him, cause dude was him, right? She winds up going down there, finding his sister, and trying to make it seem as though she was trying to come together, do an alumni get together, whatever, and wanted some information about him. And come to find out, she don't know where he at. After he left the school or whatever, he stayed with the sis, and she hasn't seen him in the past few weeks, right? Okay, cool. So while she was at the crib, right, we gonna go past a little bit more. She just chilling at the crib, and dude, her husband had to go to work, right? Girl, she get another motion detected, okay, and it was him, Mr. Janitor, okay. But this time she said, "Fuck it, let me just go ahead and let this man in," okay. She opened up the door trying to make sure. I don't know if she truly was trying to let him in or she was just trying to see if anybody was really out there. But he wound up coming in, and then she was like, "What are you doing here? What do you want?" He was like, "I don't want to hurt you. I don't want nothing bad from you. I just want to apologize for, everything that happened." And she was like, "Oh, you just want to apologize?" I said, "Bitch, now let me tell you something. I probably would have had the same reaction because I would have thought it was a setup, okay? You want to get my guards down so that you can come on in for the attack, okay? That's not what's going to happen. Then I probably would have died, okay? Because all she had to do, she was very kind-hearted, okay? That's totally different from what I am some of the time, okay? Because mama said, "Oh, well, since you sorry, I want to say sorry too, because me and my friends was making fun of you at one point, but we ain't mean it. You know what I'm saying? You was really a good dude, though. You was kind of creepy, but you was a good dude, bitch." And he was like, "Okay, cool." He started crying blood, and he just went to dust. I said, "Oh, so now his spirit is just gone." You know what I'm saying? But then it's another occasion, She didn't tell Bryce about that because Bryce at one point he was pissed off, and he had took the he wound up yanking the aura off the door because somebody else come knocking at the door, and it was this woman. And he got extra fucking pissed when he saw who it was. I said, it's a little bit too much up in there now. I know we tired of dealing with spirits and shit, but this seemed a little personal. So of course, Jaslyn being who the fuck she is, and I probably I would have did the same thing because she was talking about some. "Hello, I don't know where I am. What's going on?" Girl, she went and did some digging. She said, "I just wound up at the park." She go to the park, and it was this bench that had the girl's name on there, and we realized that she is dead, of course. So she looked up her name, and it said that the suspect in the hit and run has been caught, okay? And it was this white guy. He's in jail for 15 years because hit and run, and she wound up dying. The victim was this lady. Her name was Mary, I believe. So she comes back home. Jaslyn tells Bryce. Bryce acting like, "Oh, it ain't nothing. Leave that shit alone." And that's when he ripped the aura off because he was really pissed. Like at that moment, I said, "Why we pissed?" Okay, I mean I get it, but too much. You're doing a little too much, Mr. Brycey. And I want to call this man Bruce so bad because I'm thinking about Big Bruce from Matilda. "You can do it, Brucey. You can do it." I could probably recite that movie word for fucking word, okay? But anyway, So at this moment, you know, as she goes into looking, for some reason, Jaslyn, the later, I guess the next day or whatever, a few days later or the next day, she winds up getting that aura because she was going online because the whole thing was they thought that it was prank because people have been doing prank aura calls or whatever. And some videos, people were saying, no, this not a prank. I don't know who these people are, whatever. They just come to the door and all this stuff. So when that wound up happening, something told her to put the aura back up there. And then Miss Mary, she came back. Miss Mary, Mac, all dressed in black. She came back, bitch, okay? And she was like, so Bryce, who the fuck is she? Okay, you need to go ahead and confront her. Like, what's going on, sir? And he didn't want to. And he was just really hostile. And I said, oh, what secret you got? So at this point, Jasmine took it upon herself. Now, see, bitch, if you ain't going to tell me the truth, maybe Mary will. Girl, she let Mary into the door. She let Mary into the door. I said, what if Mary killed both y'all asses? Girl, now, Mary said, so you going to tell her what's good? You going to tell her what's good? But I feel like before they let Mary in, he wound up saying Mary was his fiance, and they got into it because he broke up. They went to the park. He broke up with her, broke off the engagement, and then he left and she drove off. And she drove off in a tizzy. She was pissed, and that's when she wound up getting hit, and he feel guilty about that each and every day, okay? And Jackson, of course, was pissed off that he didn't tell her that. But then she was like, you're going to have to talk to Mary, like get forgiveness or whatever, because we realized if you go ahead and talk to these ghosts or whatever from your past, because that's what it is, these spirits are coming back from your past, because the aura is working like an electromagnetic field or whatever the fuck it is that like the ghost hunter, it's opening up realms to the other world. And so these spirits are coming back, and it's basically giving you a way to cleanse your soul, okay? It's like clean your conscience so that these spirits can go on to where they need to go, And so at this moment, he just really wasn't here for it. So she said, I'm finna open up this door. She opened up the door and she let him in, let Miss Girl in. Why is Miss Girl holding a baby? I said, wait a minute. Where did the baby come from? And then she was like, you want to tell her the whole story? I said, he just told her the story. So what's this? And basically what it is, he did break up with the bitch. I mean, the lady. She ain't no bitch. She the victim in this. He the bitch. Because he said this wasn't part of the plan. I said, what's the plan, sir? What's the plan? He said, basically, the bitch got pregnant. Or, let me stop saying bitch. Basically, Mary got pregnant or whatever. And that ain't what he wanted. So he couldn't let her have that baby. They got into an argument. That's why he had to cut the shit off. And when he got into the argument, instead of her getting into the car like he said, they were outside in front of the car. And somehow she either stepped away from him or he pushed her a little bit. But I'm leaning more towards she stepping away to get away from him. And she stepped into the street and she wound up getting hit by the car. Okay, he was a little shocked by that. He was like, okay. But then instead of just in the driver, he stopped for a second, didn't get out, and then kept on going. So that's why he got arrested. So that was true. You would think that this is your fiance. She's carrying your child. You would do what all that you have to do to help her, right? Wrong. Not call 911. Not go get in the car, go drive for help. He goes up there and put his foot in her neck and makes sure she dies. I said, oh, bitch. And he gonna sit there in present day talk about something. It wasn't part of the plan. So fuck her, okay? And now, bitch, you know what it is, and now you ain't part of the plan no more. I said, so you finna kill Gabby? You finna kill what? I said, oh my gosh, she was just trying to help you out. You are just a murderer. What is going on? And so at that point, he got the poker, right? And he was about to go ahead and fuck Jaslyn up. But before he could, it was like, I think Mary's spirit or whatever killed him. Because he wasn't remorseful and he wasn't forgiving. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't being, oh my God, I'm so sorry. He didn't learn. Instead of just going ahead and clearing his conscience, he was about to just cover that shit up again and then take another life. Like, he was on some shit, right? So after that, 3 months passed. Jaslyn, she's in another house, okay, with an apartment, and she's talking to the maintenance guy. Everything is all to the good up in the apartment, but next thing you know, he was like, and your aurora was just put in, and or I say your aura was just put in. She was like, hold the fuck up. No, that ain't what I asked for, because I already know what's gonna happen with that shit, and I'm not gonna deal with it, bitch. Take that shit out. He said, no, they all got to do this in all the apartments because it cuts down on the insurance. I said, oh, okay. Girl, it wasn't even like a whole minute before the damn manager, the maintenance man left, before we hear the doorbell ringing. And who at the door? It's Bryce wanting revenge. I said, oh, he said, open up the fucking door. I said, child. I'm sorry, y'all. I said, child, this don't make no sense. Now you gonna come back and try to kill her? You gonna come back and try to kill her? That this episode, it was cute. That's how it ended. It was cute, but I love the message about it. The message really was just, we all do some fucked up shit. We all make mistakes sometimes. We all hurt somebody sometimes. And it is okay to just, if we don't want to be bogged down with that guilt, go ahead and just apologize and release your soul from that. And then some people, they do it, and then some people don't. And then they still gonna have to pay for that shit. The episode was cute. It was cute. Y'all tell me how y'all felt about it. And I will see y'all later. Don't forget that, I do. Oh my God, I got Bell Collective. And we got Love After Lockup coming back on tonight. Yeah, it's a lot. And then the Shy coming on. Oh my God. So the Shy probably be up tomorrow because I'm off tomorrow. So I'll probably be able to get that up tomorrow afternoon, hopefully. Don't hold me to it, but it'll probably be up most likely tomorrow night at the least. Okay? And I'll see y'all later, all right? Peace.